Issues important to all of us will form the basis of discussions between Professor Gates and me in the days and weeks to come. Professor Gates and I bring different perspectives to these issues and have agreed that both perspectives should be addressed in an effort to provide a constructive outcome to the events of the past month. Thank you.
And also here with us we have Dennis O'Connor, who is the president of the Cambridge Police Superior Officers Association, and Alan McDonald, who is the legal counsel as well.
So, Sergeant,
did anyone apologize?
No.
Dr. Crowley, you have a question with the chance for what was accomplished today sitting around that table with the President and Vice President?
I think what was accomplished was this was a positive step in moving forward as opposed to reliving the events of the past couple of weeks in an effort to move not just the city of Cambridge or two individuals past this event, but the whole country to move beyond this and use this as a basis of maybe some meaningful discussions in the future.
So, Sergeant, when you're talking about these discussions, is there some sort of plan for you and Professor Gates to be meeting again or meeting on a regular basis or something?
Yes.
Can you tell us, is it that you're going to have one meeting a week for or you've already planned a meeting?
We've already planned a meeting. The professor is heading back to the vineyard right now to spend time with his family. He and I are going to have a phone conversation in the coming days to lay the groundwork for that meeting that's already been discussed.
You're going to meet in, you know where you're going to meet or what it's going to be?
I do.
Can you tell us?
No.
Can you characterize
The venue is much too small to support all of us.
Are you going to meet in a house? Are you going to meet, in a bar for beer? Are you going to meet at the governor's?
I think meeting at a bar for beer on a second occasion is going to send out the wrong message. So maybe a Kool-Aid or iced tea or something like that. But we do have a venue in mind, but again, that's also up for discussion.
And what kind of things would you like to discuss with us?
I would like not only to discuss, but I'd also like to listen to Professor Gates' perspective, and certainly he has the credentials to enlighten me a little bit. And I think that perhaps the professor, as he expressed to me, has a willingness to listen to what my perspective is as a police officer. And again, as I said in the statement, the difficult job that police officers... Hold on just a second, I just want to finish that. The difficult jobs that police officers do every day. So the professor was quite receptive to that. I'm sorry.
Anything solved or anything solved far?
As far as... Well, we agreed to move forward. No, I think what you had today was two gentlemen agree to disagree on a particular issue. I don't think that we spent too much time dwelling on the past. We spent a lot of time discussing the future.
Can you describe how the body language was and how the tone was set? Because the people who saw the first couple of minutes said it looked like anything but friends sitting around having a beer.
Well, that wasn't the first we encountered. The professor and I encountered each other while we were both in individual tours of the White House. And the professor approached me and introduced his family. I introduced my family, and then we continued on with the tour, but as a group, two families moving together, and that was the start. So it was very cordial.
Sorry, can you share any words the President shared with you?
It was a private discussion. It was a frank discussion. I'd rather not go into the specifics of what we discussed.
Did the President make any contribution to the discussion?
He provided the beer.
That's pretty much it.
He contributed in a small part, but he really wanted to bring two people together to try to solve not only a local issue in Cambridge, but also what has become a national issue. Hold on just one second.
Jim, I wanted to ask you, the President has talked about this being a teachable moment. Did you learn anything? What did you learn from this?
What have I learned from this? I learned that the media can find you no matter where you live. We did a good job of doing that. I think that's the responsibility of Professor Gates and I in the coming weeks when we have these discussions, to maybe learn from each other. Certainly he brings a lot to the table, and I hope that I do as well. Sir?
The President is expressing the additional regret over saying that we said acted stupidly in this case. Did you express any concerns? And you also say what the Vice President had.
The Vice President was just a great man. It was nice. He was very nice with the children as well. We did share a few stories that were unrelated to the topic at hand. I'm sorry, what was the first question?
Did the President express any additional regret over saying?
Parts of that conversation are private, and we understood that going into it, so I think it would be best to honor that agreement.
Could you just say on a personal level what it was like to have this experience?
I'm not really sure this is really happening. I'm still not, haven't caught up with this. I'm going to need a few days off maybe just to reflect on the events of the past couple of weeks.
Great, we want to thank everyone.
Oh, wait, I have one more question.
Please,
Okay,
yes.
well,
You brought a letter from Sergeant Lashley to give to the President of the United States. Did you not?
No.
I did not.
Okay, it was my understanding that there was a letter that was delivered that Sergeant Lashley perhaps feels that Professor Gates may have caused irreparable harm, and that he has become known as a traitor and Uncle Tom since this event for standing up for you.
Sergeant Lashley has views on this event just like we all do. Those are Sergeant Lashley's views, and I knew in the days before Sergeant Lashley came out in support of my position that he was going to be putting himself in a position of ridicule. Sergeant Lashley's statement, whatever it is, I haven't heard it, would speak for itself. It wasn't a message I relayed.
Can you talk at all about the support that you've gotten from police and Cambridge?
The men and women of the two associations have been tremendous. They have helped provide protection for my family. I've gotten phone calls, emails, letters, things in the mail from the men and women of the police department, and I think this has brought us closer together as a law enforcement family. And I wouldn't want to leave out the incredible work that the Natick Police Department has done in ensuring the safety of my family. As you know, that they have been barraged with the media out in a small area of the town. And those men and women really deserve a lot of thanks because they're protecting what is most important to me, my family.
What's your impression of the
How
president?
has your perspective changed on this?
He's a very interesting man.
A very interesting man in what way?
He's just a regular person sitting around the table having a discussion about an issue, and he just was very cordial. I respect him a great deal.
Was there tension, or could you guys sort of,
There was no tension.
No tension.
No tension.
Could you joke around and have an ordinary conversation, or did you?
We
was this
did.
business, or was this business?
It was both. It was business, but discussing it like two gentlemen instead of fighting it out either in the physical sense or in the mental sense in the court of public opinion. So it was very productive.
Did Professor Gates ask you to be part of any documentary he's thinking of working on?
No.
great, thank you all very much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Never used the water.
Professor Gates released a statement saying, in part, it is incumbent upon Sergeant Crowley and me to utilize the great opportunity that fate has given us to foster greater sympathy among the American public for the daily perils of policing on the one hand and for the genuine fears of racial profiling on the other hand. Let me say that I thank God that I live in a country in which police officers put their lives at risk to protect us every day, and more than ever, I've come to understand and appreciate their daily sacrifices on our behalf. I'm also grateful that we live in a country where freedom of speech is a sacrosanct value, and I hope that one day we can get to know each other better, as we began to do at the White House this afternoon over beers with President Obama. At this point, I am hopeful that we can all move on, and that this experience will prove an occasion for education, not recrimination. I know that Sergeant Crowley shares this goal. So the meeting is over, but are the American people turned off by the way President Obama handled this controversy? According to a poll by the Pew Research Center, yes. 41% of those polled disapprove of the president's handling of the arrest, 29% approve, 30% don't know. Is this bad news for President Obama? Joining us live is Dick Morris, author of the book